Hey everyone, this is Crystal Trotter. I had some people request that I make a quick video just kind of showing how I'm doing literature circles on Flipgrid. I originally had planned on doing it on Zoom or Google Meets, but I've had quite a few students who, based on their schedule, have been unable to attend some of our scheduled meetings. And I figured this way it'd be a little bit easier because then they could do it on their own timeline as long as it's done by the end of the week. So this is my Google Classroom. You'll see I have some things published and some things I don't. So we're going to do literature circles of Where Things Fall Apart. And this first assignment here is not currently published, but I want to kind of walk you through it. There is a pretty lengthy explanation. I do also do videos at the beginning of the week, and I send them to students walking them through every assignment and how to complete it. So this might seem like a lot, but I'll explain it to them. So basically what I did was I created a Google Sheet first, and I'll show you that here. For anonymity, I kind of covered up some of the students' names, but I created an example for them using my family's names because there are 4 of us. And so I just gave them some simple instructions. I said, you're going to have your name in here. You're going to rotate your role each week. Thankfully, the book is 25 chapters and we're doing 5 weeks of it. So that's 5 chapters a week. Over here are the roles for the literature circles. When it's their turn to do that role that week, all they have to do is click on it, and then it's going to ask them to make a copy so that they already have their own copy that they can then fill out. Once they're finished with it, they're going to go back to Google Classroom and they're going to go to the published assignment for those chapters and submit it. I have the Google Sheet on all of them in case they don't remember what role they have that week or they need to get the copy of the assignment. Also, so based on that, I told them whenever they're finished to then go to the link at the bottom. So for the example, I don't have a Flipgrid link because it's my family, but the students will go to the link for their color group. And so for example, this is the red color group. And if they click on that link, it's going to take them to this little topic here. Sorry, this is the purple group, but you get the point. So it just says after you have submitted your role for each week, you're going to go to the Flipgrid chapters you're assigned and record yourself going over what you wrote for your role using the handout on the Google Sheet. Your roles will rotate each week. I went ahead and put the sheet on here if they needed to refer back to it. And then they just have to respond, which I can kind of see right now. I need to change the order of these, but should be able to be okay. They can read. So they're just going to click on that. This is where you will respond and record what you wrote for your literature circle role for chapter 1 through 5. And so I, the teacher, I just created my own response. I'm not even on camera, just explaining that's what goes there. So when they click on it, they can then just respond or reply right here. They're going to read their role and they'll hopefully be on film. Some students choose not to be on film. That's totally okay. Hoping most of them will want to be on film since we all miss seeing each other's faces. And so they're going to continue to respond to one another throughout that process. You'll notice back on here, so I have it broken up at the bottom by class periods. So I have 4 class periods. So there will be people in the red group from first period who are also in the red group, second, third, and 7th period. So they get to kind of work with kids that they don't normally get to work with who aren't in their class periods. So we're not bound by walls or class schedules anymore, which is kind of nice. And since they're getting to rotate through these different literature circle roles, they get to kind of see the book from a different perspective. And then they're rotating that perspective each week. So by the time they're finished, they'll get to have done any role. I think by this week, I will let them just choose the role they want to do since most groups only have 4 people. That's just kind of the way the numbers in my classes worked. Some classes have fewer, some have more. But I found that if you do more than 4, you're really pushing it. 3 is probably somewhat more ideal, but these are the most common literature circle roles we've done in the past. We did some practice literature circles earlier in the year over their summer reading, just to kind of get them a feel for what it's like. So by the time that they are finished, here's my grid, by the way. So I have multiple grids. I did this under my English 2 grid, and then I created an initial group here, and then I just duplicated it with the topics, and then I duplicated the responses that I created. So these are the responses that I created for chapters 1 through 5, all the way to chapters 21 through 25. And then I activated them so that they could see them when they go to respond. I could choose to only activate it each week as it's due, but I have quite a few students who like to work ahead. So I thought I'd give them the opportunity to do that by going ahead and activating them so that they can submit them. And then, so they'll submit to Google Classroom for each week the Google Doc that they're going to fill out, which is the Literature Circle role that they're making a copy of. And then they will respond to the Flipgrid for that. And so I hope that made sense. There's a lot of little pieces to it, but we've used Google Sheets quite a bit in class. We've done mock trials together and they've used Google Sheets and things like that. So every piece in here is not new. It might seem complicated, but these kids have done things like this all year long. So if you have questions, feel free to message me or just respond and I'll help you the best I can. Thanks, guys.